Aloha, everybody. I'm Kimo Hussey here with my very good friend Zanuck Lindsey, and we're very, very excited to share some thoughts with you today about rewards. Rewards from where? Rewards from music and ukulele that we so enjoy. Speaking of rewards, one of the things I know we all enjoy about ukulele is going to kanikapila, where we can play with other people. And as we continue to play, that adrenaline that we feel keeps going and building and building, and the more it builds, the more we play rather forcefully on our ukuleles, which is great because we're after that kind of reward. We change songs. We change songs in order to change rewards that the music and ukulele bring to us. So, one of the things that Zanuck and I would like to share with you today has to do with the reward of just feeling good. The reward of going from a chord like this, the reward of going from a chord like this to this. And when we go from here to here, we go like this. And it makes us feel good. But that's just the starting point. There are so many things, or I should say there are several things that we would like to share with you today that Zanuck and I have come to utilize in order to get this reward. And so it's a reward that's different from just continuing to build adrenaline. It's a reward that makes us understand and enjoy a sound like this, for example. So you see, it's a different reward than just continually to pound on our instruments. How do we achieve that? Well, several ways. One way we can do to achieve that is to make careful choices about the songs that we play. And another way we can achieve that feeling is to be aware of the instruments that we're playing and how we play those instruments. Zanuck and I have come up on a wonderful, wonderful combination of instruments. And the reason why we so enjoy these instruments is that they provide us a very, very different reward. And that reward is what we enjoy about the sound of low and mellow as opposed to the sound of high and bright. And it's not a matter of objectivity. It is not a matter of good, bad, right, or wrong. It is a matter of preference. We choose to make this preference because of the rewards that it provides us. And our message to you today is that these rewards are readily available to you. So let's start by Zanuck telling us a little bit about your instrument, because that's a different looking ukulele.
Yes, it is. This instrument is called the Kīkū. In the previous video that we made, I went into a deeper explanation. But what it refers to in this particular video is about its range. And now, as you can hear, I have quite the expanded range from a standard ukulele. I still have the ukulele tuning here, but I've added 2 lower strings so that I can reach for low notes that create a fullness, a completeness, if you will, of the chord. And that's a sound preference that I choose. It makes me feel good. And what it tends to bring out is the beauty of the acoustics of our instruments here. We tend to play soothing music, Kimo and I. It's called nahe nahe style of music in Hawaiian. And I feel personally, my opinion, that the sound that nahe nahe music produces is one that has a very healing, for lack of a better word, ability. When people listen to it, they are soothed by it. They're relaxed, even to the point of sleeping. And we take that as a compliment.
Yeah,
we love
absolutely.
that. If you're sleeping, it's not because we were terrible. It's because you were guided into a very deep relaxation. So what does that have to do with the sounds? The sounds are in different registers of frequency. Without getting into much of the physics of the instrument, you can hear that at one end of my instrument is a high note, and at the complete opposite spectrum is a lower note. Within that range, certain notes have certain effects. A high pitch like that will give us an elevated sense of feeling, I think, where excuse me, I feel like there's something exciting in the near future. A lower range tends to ground us a little bit, so I throw that in there spontaneously when I play with Kimo, when I want to feel a sense of stability, if you will. So that's the sound. And then in the middle of my instrument, we occupy excuse me, basically the same area. And that's where the body of the richness for my ear comes from. So I have a range that gives us the brightness of the excitement, the low range of stability, groundedness, anchoring the music, and the middle, which is where all these beautiful voicings come from. And combination of those 3 things that I can access makes this a very interesting instrument for me. And when I play with someone like Kimo, who plays beautifully already, all I have to do is enhance that his style of playing. Now that brings up an interesting thing that I want to say, is that Kimo was mentioning how aggressively people play the ukulele, and I know that's the truth. I see that a lot. But if you chose to play the ukulele, your approach was more of a subtle one, that you play for the nuance of the sound of the ukulele, you will find that the ukulele is a beautiful instrument acoustically. Yeah. And we've discovered that together. And when you get to that point of sensitivity, you're going to hear that there is an unspoken dialogue happening between you and the other musician you're playing with. So Kimo and I, if you watch in our examples, there's actually a conversation happening. And it's a happy one, always, because we're sharing our feelings coming through our instrument, and we are expressing how enjoyable this experience is, and it changes every single time. We may play the same song 5 times in a row. There will be a new piece of vocabulary that I respond to when he plays a certain thing, and it's the beauty of music. And you won't hear that when you're attacking the instrument so vigorously, because you're really only focusing on what you're doing at the moment, just yourself. But when you let that go and you start to listen more carefully, you'll hear these wonderful effects that Kimo was referring to. These very relaxing and soothing qualities of our instruments. And that's what we want to introduce. Absolutely. With ukulele. We really want to show that this is not a parlor trick type of instrument anymore. This, with the luthiers like Jay Lichty and Eric Devine and many others that we've encountered, they are now creating beautiful instruments that are on the same level of guitar making, of violin making. They have the skill and the pride to create things like this. This was a very interesting instrument for Jay to make. He just didn't want to copy a guitar body. He wanted to hear what my needs were as an artist, and he designed it perfectly. He chose the right woods. He chose the right design of body so I could access notes at the high end of this and have the range that I was hoping for. See how beautiful it sounds in the low range. We don't get to hear that too often with a tenor or concert sounding ukulele. But that's my thought about the properties of music through the ukulele that provide comfort and beauty and all these wonderful, things that sometimes we overlook in life,
And thanks for that. Those are great thoughts, Zanuck. Perhaps another word, an adjective, that we can use for the kind of rewards, or reward, I should say, from that we can get from music and ukulele, is the word therapeutic. We can do music and learn to do music, and use very high quality instruments like we have, in order to do music that'll just make us feel good.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the things that's happening in Hawaii on April the 30th is a fundraiser in favor of Kapiolani Hospital for women and children. And basically what the fundraiser is designed to do is to raise some funds to support a music therapy program at the hospital. And neither Zanuck nor I are music therapists, but we understand, as you do, I'm sure, music that just makes us feel good, that we can be happy together, mm-hmm. And enjoy a feeling of the music itself being therapeutic. One more thing, and then we'll play for you. And that is, how do you practice making what I'll call feel-good music on the ukulele? In my mind, they're basically two things. Basically, changes in dynamics, which in music refers to loud and soft dynamics, and tempo changes. So we'll play for you now, and you can listen for dynamic changes that we'll do, and also be aware of the conversation that's going on between Zanuck and I as we play this song. It'll really make us happy together, I bet. Okay, where are we at?